Hey, how's it going, everybody? Let me share screen. All right. Pop out the chat here. All right. So we were working on verbs yesterday. Hi, Tsunami Scientist. Oh, you've been watching it after the fact? That's great. Uh, uh, that you've been watching and you got onto a live one. That's really cool. Hi, Magpie. Magpie is always here. Um, so I think we left off last week talking about participles. I've read a little bit more, and yeah, I'll have some participles that I'll use for some form of relative clauses, and I can work on that. I think I'm going to do. This is going to be the active. Is a suffix, and then we're going to have a passive one that's going to be fa. Now this one, I'm going to put that in uh, that whole thing in parentheses for now because I'm going to have to go and figure out all of the ways that that changes. Yeah. Hi, Jonathan. Hi, Tabby. Glad to have people jumping on. And because I'm going to save it for later, but I'm going to have to figure out again what all of the possible permutations of this are, because obviously vowel harmony is going to apply, and so that's gonna have an effect. So we have a causative. We've done our causative because I just took the yeah Gintrisp gives us both the causative and the imperative forms. So gin as a prefix, or yita or gri, right? For our imperative prefixes, depending on whether you're talking to one person or multiple people. This is sort of that was a whole process yesterday, but today I want to get to this should probably be moved further down. Um, we'll get let's call this participles, and eventually I will get around to getting examples of how the participles work and get that all sorted out. But for now, we're just going to. Um, did I not have any subheadings? I probably, yeah. Um, I will go ahead and make these all headings so that they appear in my Yeah, let's call this Tam so that I can and then we have the agreement highlighted and participles. And now we're going to do directionals and associated motion. Now, just what is this directionals and associated motion? This is so if you haven't seen the episode on it, and I recommend you go sometime after this and go and listen to our episode. It's with William Annis. This is in the audio version of the show only so far. By the way, I am planning eventually to put all the audio episodes on the channel. I just have not gotten around to getting the work done to get that out and figure out how I'm going to release them. So look out for that in the future. But we had an episode um, uh, with it was William Annis came on and just gave me a whole bunch of sources about a category called associated motion, and so the what am I saying? Um, Directionals are a pretty common thing of like where you have a verb of motion and there is some sort of inflection that denotes what direction it goes in. And then associated motion is a category that attaches to verbs that are not necessarily verbs of motion, but have some relationship of motion that's related to that verb. So, yeah. Um, yeah. Oh, it's fun. I definitely wanted to use it. I wanted to use it here because I felt that mm, this sort of moving and such would be important to creatures that move in three-dimensional space a lot, which we're talking about dragons and they can fly and that works out for them. And I happen to roll for directionals. And one thing about associated motion, the reason I'm saying directionals and that is they can come from directionals. They can be separate from the directionals, or they can come from the directionals. They can share forms with the directionals. And that's the option I'm going to go for is there's going to be directionals in this language, but they are going to double as associated motion. That way you can double up that, and there's going to be some interesting interesting stuff to do around that. Now, there is one thing I wanted to do before that because it will help me with a couple of things here. Um, can I zoom in on Excel? View, zoom. I guess I can do a zoom to selection. Is I haven't put this into my big Word document of tables yet, but I am going to take a nice do one roll today just because there's going to be a little bit of this working on the Okay. Are you guys hearing that? Okay. We're going to have a little bit of working on verbs and examples with verbs. And it will be helpful to me to know whether any of these things exist. And it's just good to have it for the future. So we're going to roll one. And we have a 10. What is this? There's a 6. I'm not, the video is not clear, but I'm going to turn this so I can see it. So there's a 10 and a 6. So that means none of these things here. Okay. So let's share again. And that's super interesting. So I don't have noun incorporation. I don't have serial verbs. I don't have light verb constructions. I don't have verb compounding. That means I'm going to have to kind of work with a lot of constraints. Let me note that down. No productive verb compounds or serial verbs. No productive verb compounds or noun incorporation, serial verbs, or light verb constructions. So this is going to affect how some of these examples work out. Yeah. Hi, Pui. Well, everybody just drop in and stay as for however long you want. Oh yeah, light verb. You forgot. There's so many terms in linguistics, and they're all over the place, and how people use them and how they are defined them. If people don't know, a light verb, English has tons of light verb constructions actually. So it's really easy to explain to English speakers what it is. It's a verb that doesn't have a whole lot of. It's a construction where you have a verb that doesn't have a whole lot of meaning by itself, and it's combined with an object to make a greater meaning, like take a shower, take a bath, uh, make a stand. And all of those, the verb itself is a light verb, meaning it's kind of hit the hay, for a more idiomatic, for more of an idiom. Uh, there's all kinds of ones with do, but the verb itself doesn't have much meaning by itself and ends up taking on a meaning as a whole construction. That doesn't happen in Ndăkaga, in Ndăkaga, apparently. Apparently, what we have is going to be all. I also don't have. You can't compound verbs, which is a weird weird thing to not have. I was always seeing this language as being kind of light on compounding anyway, but that's going to be interesting to work with. And I don't have noun incorporation, so English doesn't have a whole lot of this. We have a few sort of frozen things like babysit, where you put a noun, attach a noun to a verb, and then you get another verb that doesn't have. Usually, it's changing a transitive to an intransitive. So I'm going to have to deal with transitive and intransitive in a different way. And we don't have serial verbs with which Chinese has a lot of. Which you just have one verb after another one. This is gonna matter more for constructions later on, but right now I just want it for example stuff. So let me sort out what my categories are going to be. So for our directionals, and you're going to see why we are interested in. I can add another row. Insert below. No, I'm going to put the sources. Yeah. Source. Because I think these directionals and associated motion markers can be pretty transparent. So I think I want to work with sources that I'll work out with you guys. So here are my thoughts currently. Is it's pretty common to have an itive, that's basically meaning go. There's itive and there's ventive. I do hope I'm getting that right. So when I say go and come, these are like the strict meanings where go means motion away from the speaker and come means motion toward the speaker. That is one part of what I'm going to be doing. I'm also going to have an up and down, an upward motion and a downward motion. And I have an idea of how I'm going to derive those. So now, these four should probably be enough. We don't want to overload ourselves with lots of inflections because they're going to be hard to apply later on. But I am open to ideas for other things. I thought about potentially doing the cardinal directions north, south, east, and west. But there's sort of a narrative thing having to do with yeah, up and down is definitely going to be good for flying creatures. I'm it's one reason that I really wanted it to be like this. So like now a couple of things. I did make a verb today that I'm going to use for this. Let's what is it? Yeah. Is it not here? Oh, I have to figure out up. I have to figure out how the search works. Okay. So, if you saw my Luxembourg entry for today, which by the way, if you want to know how to make some decent looking Luxembourg like cards like people do, I just do it in PowerPoint. I make a square PowerPoint slide and I have the word here, all the information here, and also this will help you. You want to do alt text, you just copy and paste text from here to do the alt text for people who can't see the card. So that's how I do that. That might be something you want to do. Yeah, it's spit. Yeah, the idea was I wanted to have a word for discharging a breath weapon. And the thing is, we're talking about D&D dragons. They don't just breathe fire. There are dragons that do lightning, they do poison, acid, sleeping gas. Not all of those are like gaseous either, right? Or something you can think of as breathing either. And I thought let's take the breath weapon, the breath part of that, and separate it out and think about it differently. And I thought maybe dragons would think of it more like spitting or vomiting. Um, and so we just go ahead and go with a word meaning to vomit, and it also means discharging your breath weapon. And then for the breath weapon, this is why I wanted to determine whether I have like noun incorporation specifically is uh I'm going to have to do just the object of the verb is the damage type whatever it is, right? um Otherwise I was going to incorporate it into the verb, but I can't do that anymore because the dice said no. And it's kind of fun running into constraints like that. It does mean that that this this language is not as necessarily as parsimonious as I'd like it to be. So we have that. We're going to use that as one of our examples because it's going to be interesting trying to think about how this interacts, because there is a direction to where you spit things, right? But it could also do an associated motion. I also am going to use, how do I search the entire, there's the search. Okay. I like Obsidian, but some of the user interface stuff is confusing. So attack. No. What is it? Slash. What is the? Oh, I think that I have never actually put this into my lexicon. It's like the second. So I have chitta means eat. And then I have each. Achi. Achi is claw. Okay. I'm just looking under the agreement because it's an agreement example. Chitta. Kiche. Kiche. And let's see if that is anywhere in here. Yeah, that's not anywhere. Okay. Kiche is to. So let's add that so that I don't forget about it. Kiche. No, I don't. I want that, but I don't want it now. Key. Kiche. Kiche, and this is to slash to, yeah, this is what it is. It's to slash or to pierce. And this was sort of a funny I mean, slashing with the claws, right? I just thought it would be funny to make these the same word because it's perfectly reasonable to do it that way, but also it's kind of funny in the D&D context because the game rules treat slashing and piercing as like totally different types of damage that you can do. But anyway, so we have kiche, ape, 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 ape. It even makes a sound like you're spitting on somebody. Ape, 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 kiche. And I don't think I have a verb to fly yet. So nope. No to fly there. Ah. Why am I fly? Okay. No matches for fly. So we're going to go and let's just close all of these. We're going to come here. We're going to do our thing. Before we get to generating, we'll generate all of our I think I'm going to do prefixes for the associated motion. Make it, yeah, we don't have a pre-existing um we don't have serial verb constructions now, but maybe historically they were a serial verb construction. And let's do anyway, but let's work on to fly. Let's generate our 5 roots. Tra, tra, ta, ki, piapa, atit, atit. I think of those, there's 3 of them that I would be okay with. Tra. So let's apply the sound changes. So is tra, baba. Oh no, I don't like what that turns into. Baba is very weird. Dra. Dra is cool. Ajit. Ajit is pretty cool. Spit and vomit. Probably you can distinct. So one thing is it is a transitive verb. So it needs to have an object. So if you like say you're spitting and there might be a separate words for spit for the noun spit and the noun vomit. I will say I didn't really research it, but I just happen to know knowing like in Mandarin the 2 verbs spit and vomit are the same as tu. So I just seemed fine to me and it's not a big deal. Yes, they are different, like physiologically very different things that happen in your body, but that works fine for me because I know that there are languages that don't make the distinction. I'm going to get 5 more roots and see if I can. Ihu, 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 and etri, etri. We do need to get those trills into some common words so that we get the trill going. We also need the ch sound a little bit more, just to give the language some character. So let's grab those two and get them as and oh, no, I don't want. So weird. And this is not an option anymore. So let's apply these. Dra agit ihu etre. So this is going to be um a uh, a poll here. What is the root for to fly? And okay, so it's dra agit ihu or etre. I have the wrong keyboard selected. Ah. That's weird. Okay. That's okay. So, and I'll let you guys sit there with that and vote on that. Yeah. But yeah, it's there's nothing wrong with having the same word for to spit and to vomit. It is attested in natural languages. Let's actually check. Since you brought it up, I'm a little curious. Let's click it. Let's go with. Now this is it's in Infomap spit. So if we just go to vomit, so this has 23 links for spit and vomit, and you have Hmong, you have Old High German, Middle High German, Kamang, and then lots of Sino-Tibetan languages, as I expect, knowing that Chinese does it. Not sure if these are all related, though. Seems like there's several different routes we could probably go to stet. I think, Jonathan, I think that would be a bit too obvious. Dragon. I am going to get to like what dragons call themselves in a little bit. Let's actually go here. We have dra and etre. Uh, we've got okay. Come on, people, get your votes in. We've got 3 votes in, and we've got more than that watching. So come on and get your votes in, get counted, because you can still affect the outcome quite a bit here. Let's. I want to have that sorted out. But anyway, yeah, this is yeah. So and you have the spit, vomit, saliva. We can. This interesting. If we could go to the info map or subgraph of vomit, what is that? It doesn't show anything. Is it? Oh, okay. That's big. So goes to spit. So that's too many links to be just random coincidence. Unless all those Austronesians are just the same Proto-Austronesian root that happen to be homophonous. That's wild. Not going to use that in a language. Doesn't seem right. Dig is interesting. Okay. So, by the way, there is a, I don't even know if I'm going to use it, but um, there is a Grandbank feature saying, does the language have an agentive, a productive agentive affix for verbs? So maybe I will have a dice table for determining whether I have that. I'm not sure. um, let's get this. Okay. Okay. We have 5 votes. There is another person here if you want to vote. Just wait for a second here. But yeah. Meanwhile, yeah. Okay. Okay. I think I'm going to end it here because I don't think, okay, with this number of votes, I don't think the remaining vote can have an effect. So our word for to fly is dra. Congratulations. And we'll get that sorted here in our dictionary real quick, and move on to getting these sorted out. So dra, and I need my inflection thingy. Oh, let's just let's get what is the original for that? I have Lexergy up, and I can show the inputs. Tra. Okay, dra. And this verb is intransitive because you just fly. You don't fly two things or you're not flying a thing. It's just flying by yourself under your own power. Okay, and apply. And here are the forms. Gedra, bedra, padra, dridra. So y'all fly is dredra, dredra, or dredra, and abadra, and ngedra. So we'll have that. G. And this is a verb intransitive. Fly. I'm sure that we can have all kinds of fun different forms for that. But for now, that's all. It's fun semantics with that, but we've got other things that we are working on right now. So we are going to, how long have I even been on? Okay. So let's move on and let's get our, let's get the sources for these. So we have Itive, source for that can be to go, and ventive, source for that can be to come. That's super common, and I don't see a reason not to do it. Up, for up, what I'm thinking is ascend or to climb, flying. So in English, we use the verb climb to also mean to ascend in while flying, right? But this is not. This is only specific to flying. So I guess ascend probably works better, but it's going to be specific. And then down will also be descend flying, right? Not fall though. I don't think we'll have a separate verb for to fall because it's a completely different type of motion. So let's go and grab a few things from Lexifer and get working on that so that we can have a little, so that we can figure those out. Okay, so let's see. So we need 4 of them. Let's generate 10 words, and then I can pick those. Pim, pim, I, mku, mku, mku. Okay. I don't know if I want mk cluster like that. I think I would have changed that to nk, nk. So I can change that, and then that's fine. Api. That's too long. I like these. I actually generally like these first 4. So where did it even go? Okay. What happened there? Yeah. Okay. I like these. I like these. Not this one. The other 4 of them. And I kind of want to use all of those. Except that I'm not going to have mhu. I'm going to have mhu. And all of these will end up, they will all end up reduced to some extent, right? So let's see what they are. So it becomes pem, nku, nku. Sorry, it's not rounded. Nku, and up, and api. Okay. So do we like them for nku? I think I like that for go. Okay. Go. And where is my thing here? Okay. Pem. And then up, that means api. we can do here. Api. There we go. Okay, so we've got our 4 things, and then we go and we gonna adjust them a little bit. So I'm gonna make these prefixes, and cool. And my thought is that this will go in a slot that goes after the person agreement, the subject person agreement. And so we will get into how that gets sorted out. This one we're just going to take the first syllable. It's going to be chip. And a vowel harmony, I think, is going to work differently for these, which I will figure that out in a minute. Up. And cool. I think what happens is that I think the nasal drops off of this in order to simplify it a little bit. Hi, Jake. How you doing? I'm just working a little bit here on these inflections here. And then for this, so it's pim for it to come. We'll just keep the onset of that and just go with pe. Ooh, wait a minute. That's right. Good. Oh, last day of term. That's excellent. I wonder if that's why things have been a little bit quiet, if it's been finals week for a lot of you guys and you just like did not if it's been like end of semester for some of you guys and you just didn't have time to come and join me. Which is totally understandable. So I didn't even think about. I have so this is good, right? Now I'm thinking. At first, I was thinking these were going to behave differently for vowel harmony, but I think actually that we will treat them as just the same as anything else for vowel harmony, which means that this is going to alternate with k. Right. This will alternate with k, right? Not that one. And this will pe or pe. And it can be chi or ch, right? And this one doesn't change because that's neutral. So let's think about examples and let's think about what these actually mean when we go with any verb, right? So the most straightforward one is going to be flying. So let's take a look at, so What's the word for dragon? So dragon, yes, ga and ergative. No, it's going to be nominative. It's going to be a nominative. So we go ga if, and when we get to dra, yeah, abadra. Is that right? Abadra. Abadra. That's just dragonflies, right? And then we have ga if. Let's actually do the ventive, because the using up with fly, I'm not sure how that's going to work out. Up Petra. Yeah, so it's Abapedra. Abapedra. Abapedra means the dragon flies upward. Perfectly fine, perfectly logical. No, that's not. Flies toward me, right? Flies this way. It's flying, coming here, right? Let's do with kiche. So ga if, it's ga if, and just make sure I have kiche right. Kiche. Yeah, so uba kichube. Let's see. Who was it attacking? I'm gonna say is attacking some group of adventurers. So uba kichenge. Uba kichenge. Uba kichenge. Right? And we see that words are getting kind of long. I may need to work on ways to shorten words and make things more parsimonious. This is just the dragon slashes them, right? If we add the pe, ga if uba pekichenge. See you, John. See you, Jonathan. Have fun. Yeah. And we'll have we have Uba Pekichenge. This means the dragon. So my thought is that the motion, so there's several options. The motion can be simultaneous with the action. Or it can be something that happens before the action of the verb, or it can be something that happens after the action of the verb. My thought is I need to silence my Slack. Give me one moment, because I do not want my work Slack notifications to be going off when I am here for various reasons. Let me, I am away, pause notifications, and go. Okay. Okay. My thought is that I'm going to have it mean both. I'm going to let this be interpreted as either action before, a motion that happens before the action, or a motion that is simultaneous with the action. So the translation can be the dragon comes and slashes them, or the dragon comes this way while slashing them. Right? Now, let me, before we do the up here, I'm going to, this is a transitive verb. I'm going to go ahead and make if I don't actually have a word for fire. Fire. Okay, I have a word for fire. EP. Good. Okay. EP and accusative EPB. Okay, so EPB. So, and I will obviously eventually I'm going to have words for all of the different breath weapons they can have. At least for chromatic and metallic dragons. I don't know if I'm going to do all the crazy ones that like crystal dragons and stuff have. So, EPB, right? EPB. And then let me get the correct inflection for up. Why is there a P there? Oh, abapinge. Abapinge. Oh, that's wildness. Abapabe. 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 It's abapabe. Abapabe. Is it abapabe or abapabe? Previously I had said that the stress is on the abapabe. Okay. So ga, and this needs to be in the, we'll go with dragon ga. Yeah, dragon ga, gadi. Gadi if ipb abapabe. Abapabe. Be. Abapabe. Okay. Gadi if ipb abapabe. Abapabe. That means the dragon breathed fire. Actually, we probably want to do we want probably a bapabe cha. Because that's I think all of these, this one we can leave without a bapabe cha. Right? Now, what happens when we add the pay? Okay, so okay, so we have to refer to this. So it's an no. Oh my goodness. I accidentally made a tongue twister, I think. Like the ventive is pay. Uh 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 bapap becha. Bapapabecha. Bapapabecha. Bapapabecha is, so here's the thing. Here's, I think I want to actually just, let's make the M optional so that we don't end up with deleting this vowel and making this reduce just to a P. Abba betcha. Abba betcha. Abba pem abba up betcha. Abba pem up betcha is what we do when we have this. That's not going to be an issue with any of the others. Just this one's going to have that. So abep abepabe. that's definitely fun. So the thing I think I'm going to ask this of you guys. So here's the poll. So this can be, I'm going to The thing about the spitting, I said that there's a direction to the spitting. And this might make us another class of verbs. So when we have, I'm just going to make it about this example. What is the yeah, yeah, there's this is the toughest part of this language, I think, is that I have to do distinctions between eh, ah, and and all of those, and it's real difficult. Um, if I had been smarter, I would have like collapsed all of those or done something different with all of those. But we're kind of stuck with the phonology we have, and I'm just going to have to learn how to speak this stuff rapidly. Because the thing is, I have to do that in unstressed and stressed positions, which means I have to stress schwas, and then I have to distinguish all of those vowels from schwas in unstressed positions. It's really difficult if your first language is English. Turns out. But anyway, so what is the meaning of and here's your options. So it can be the dragon breathes fire while coming. Okay. I don't have enough characters, so breathe fire while coming this way, coming here. My gosh, this is really hard. Okay. 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 Or in this direction, that's barely fitting there, or can mean both. Let's just say both here. No, I got it here. So this is the idea is when you have something that can have a direction but isn't actually a verb of motion, like what it is the verb up here, right? Is the directional, is it going to be a directional, or is it going to be an associated motion, or is it ambiguous? So because you can breathe fire in a direction, right? You could also breathe fire while moving. And so it's just gonna be up to you guys whether we're introducing the ambiguity here, or we're just going to have an interesting. Oh my goodness! Oh, this is an exciting poll here. Let's get everybody involved here. It looks like people are fighting over this one. Okay. 2 votes. 2 votes out. Let's see what we're gonna be doing here. Okay. All right. Okay. Just let me wait just a couple more seconds here just to see if anybody else comes in. But I think at this point that we have a winner. Okay. Let's go ahead and end the poll because ambiguity won. So it's the dragon breathe fire while coming this way, or it can mean the dragon breathed fire in this direction. So here's the deal. Okay. So here's how we can write this up just to be clear. Always have a prose description here. So okay. When used for verbs that denote motion, the directional markers purely relate to direction. Okay. So, and that's this. That's this. These examples. Uh, um, and we'll do our color coding quickly to get it all. Although it's going to be. Did we do any color coding here? Well, that's fine. We'll just. I know my language well enough to remember. Okay, this is where we did that. This is where we did that. Okay. Control I. Control I. Now, when used with verbs that do not denote motion and don't indicate a direction, they become associated motion markers denoting motion either before or simultaneous with the action of the verb. Jeez. What's going on here? And then for certain non-motion verbs that have a direction that are implied to have a direction, the directional or associated motion meanings both directional and associated motion meanings are available and must be differentiated by context. So okay. All right. So I think that is our system done for the associated motion markers. So that's resolved. And all of these things, okay, these things are all dealt with. And so we just have, and I've made my participles, I just don't have any examples of how they work yet. So, okay. So that's our associated motion system worked out. Actually, that was a lot of progress to make actually in that amount of time. And I'm happy, I'm glad you guys were here to help me out with that. Let me, I think the next thing I'm going to work on is I'm going to do a little bit of some constructions here. One thing I want to note is we're going to add these words to the dictionary quickly. So let's do that quickly, and we will have that. So we need to create, and we have cool, and another one, Pim, and another one, and another one, Api. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah, I need that. Okay. And I'm going to come back to Lexergy. I'm going to get these things sorted here, and let's so do I have the Okay. So we're going to have the PEM. And then cool. Oh, I forgot that this was, yeah. And then and P. You should all be intransitive, right? Yeah, I think so. So let's get Obsidian up, and we go here. So okay, etymology. Where up here? And verb intransitive. Get all of these. Gapi, bapi, drapi, ubapi, ngapi. Ngapi. That's wonderful. And this means, what does that mean? That means to descend. Flight. Okay. Get yes, no burning down villages. We do not burn down villages for this podcast, although I may talk about it. Hi, Logan. How you doing? I just wrapped up the associated motion / directional system, and I'm just entering some words into my dictionary just to make sure that I actually do that. We have discovered that we get some very long tongue twisters of words, and that is concerning, but it works. It happens. This one means means to rise by flying. To rise by flying. Okay. Now, I'm gonna be. I'm not totally sure if this initial sense for these two is going to be the descent or to rise is going to still be productive, since they did become. You can just say to fly upwards, right, and fly downwards. But oh yeah, well, that's great, Logan. Yeah, it's that's going to be fun having you in there. Just another person in the peanut gallery. But anyway, but one thing is, Whether or not this main sense is still productive, there is going to be a second sense with perfective to land, with perfective to take off. So if you say gachita, gachita just means like I am rising, huh? Right? It means I am going. If you say gachita with the perfective marker at the end, gachita means to land. And gapicha means to take, no, gapicha means to land, sorry. Gachicha means to take off. So that's going to be an interesting thing to work with. Now the flying part, when obviously when we turn these into the directionals, the directional / AM markers, that flying bit of the meaning disappeared. But that's where we are now. So and then we have these other PIM and etymology was just PEM in the beginning, right? It was just PEM in the first place. PIM. And this just means come, right? And we got Kupem. Kupem, Bepem, Tapem, Dripem, Ubapem, Ngipem. And let's go and Nku, and that is from etymology. Transitive, go. And get Gunku, Bunku, Tanku, Drinku, Ibanku, Nginku. This one ended up sounded very, very Japanese, this word, when you add the inflections to it, which is bad, but that's an interesting thing. Okay, so I'm obviously going to have to. Okay, so I think that I'm going to leave that there for this time. I have worked out in my dice table stuff. I have done some work with word order, and I'm going to decide a little bit about how numerals work and how the how the adjectives will work, where they'll be placed, right? And then next time we're going to get into some examples with demonstratives, with adjectives, um, and I know I said before that I was going to do a poll on numbers, but thing is, like, I was going to do the poll, and then I started reading a little bit more about um, how some of the things work, and it didn't actually make as much sense as I thought it was going to. So I may do that poll for patrons this week, but it's going to be different than what I was. I the thing about it is, like, body count systems are different from what I thought they were. Um, in that they tend to be limited systems, and this means I'm going to be revising how I deal with rolling for your numeric base, and it's also going to affect what choices I have for the the numerals for dragons. I think I'm debating whether I still want to do like a body part thing, even though it'll be different from the way that happens in natural languages. Um, or if I just want to think about things in terms of the number of claws. Um, so we'll see about that. I haven't been doing patron polls, and I think I want to try to get those going again, so that we have a separate way for people to participate. But for now, and yes, I only put the verb final thing here because the thing is, like, I'm not sure if this is going to be the final form, but it's going to be something that'll work for what I have already. Um, but uh, anyway, uh, thanks for showing up. You want to get notified of these, you got the little subscribe and the bell that you can go and take a look at, and well, click on the little subscribe and the bell, and do the little like button, please. And I'm gonna say here, happy conlaying, and I can end the stream.